Hello adventurers, it's your man Zero here, your favorite hero. Guys, I bet you're wondering, what do I need to level up first to 120? Well, in this one, we're going to be going over Cloud, and I'm going to give you my suggestions via a tier list. Let's hop in. So let's just go through all the weapons here. First thing is first, we're just going to throw all of the free-to-play weapons right into the Never. These pieces of equipment you are not going to be leveling up just willy-nilly. If you are swimming in Mithril Ore, maybe you'd be bringing them to like 110, but you will never be putting them up to the 120 marker. Not for a very, very long time. Next, let's focus on going through these in order. So we have the Buster Sword. The Buster Sword is a piece of equipment that we commonly use for our sub equipment, and it is really, really good in our abilities for HP and attack. It's the only weapon that we have that combination of, so it's super useful. So I'm going to go put it in A. We're not going to be putting this on our main hand or anything like that, but if the R abilities do increase as we are leveling up, this one might be something that you want to be putting on your radar. So A seems like a really good spot for it. Next here we have the Iron Blade. Iron Blade, what we're going to do is we're going to bring this up and we're going to drop it right into C. Seems like a good place for it. This thing is okay. Its R abilities aren't very good. It does have P defense, which is pretty solid, but it's not one that we commonly equip, so I'm just going to put it in C. Seems like a good place for it. Next up, we have the Hard Edge. Hard Edge is one of those pieces of equipment that I almost always have in my secondary slot, so it is something that I'm going to suggest doing in an S level, like something that I definitely want to get up there just because it is something I utilize all the time, and you guys might too. And so having the stats increase on that one is going to be majorly beneficial towards Cloud being that much stronger in battle. Not to mention the attack, our ability is pretty good, so it's nice to get that little bit of boost in there as well. Next we have the Mithril Saber. Mithril Sabers is more of a magic attack weapon, so it's not something that I would personally build for Cloud. It is a weapon that you definitely want to build maybe in the future, just because it is going to be beneficial towards other characters such as Sephiroth in his backhand. So right now I am going to be putting this in C because it is something that I think it's good to have, but it's not an essential. Next, we have our nice Butterfly Edge. Butterfly Edge is one of those pieces of equipment that we use a lot in our sub equipments just because of the HP, because this does have 54. So we're going to drop that right up here into A because it is one of those pieces of equipment that we're definitely going to be utilizing, and you don't want to miss out on possibly having more HP and also a limit break increase. So I'm going to put it into B. Oh, and also it does increase your P def. So this is also one of those pieces of equipment that's going to give you more survivability if you equip it in your sub slot. Next, we have the Murasame. The Murasame is one of those weapons that is going to go right into the S+. This is one that is associated with the Garb, so you know we're going to do a crazy amounts of damage. This is a weapon that has a fantastic amount of P attack, so usually a lot of people use it as their main hand or even a sub equipment. Definitely deserves that S+ marker. Next we have the Organics, and I'm just going to dump that right into D, guys. The Organics is, in my opinion, just a small sliver above a free-to-play weapon. This thing is got no real good R abilities. It's like 27 magic defense, nothing special. The attack is a physical attack, like with like stun, and that like never works. So just dead in the water. Next up, we got the Crystal Sword. Crystal Sword is one of those weapons that we do utilize on our healers on our sub equipment, but we don't really use it on Cloud. Cloud is our DPS unit, so I'm going to go ahead and dump this into C. It's one of those pieces of equipment that maybe we can get to it one day, but for now, it's a good place for it there, and it's not something we want to really focus on. All right, and next up we have our Enhanced Sword. So I'm going to take Enhanced Sword and just drop it right into B. It's a good place for it. This is an elemental weapon with an R ability that is for elemental ice increase. So this is really going to be good for, making a little bit stronger as like a sub equipment for your Ice Cloud or maybe for your Ice Sephiroth. So more so for your Ice Sephiroth because that's a magic attack user. So I'm going to put it into B. It's something that you definitely want to think about, but not something you want to focus on. Next, we have the Apocalypse. Apocalypse is going to be one of those weapons just like the Enhanced Sword, where it is an elemental boost weapon. It has a 40 attack R ability and as well as a wind potency R ability as well. So I'm going to put it right there with B. It's kind of in the same kind of vein where you would increase it just so that way you have an increase in elemental damage on a unit with it being equipped on their sub equipment. Next, we have the Maritime. Maritime is one of those pieces of equipment that has a garb. It doesn't have one that has an arcanium, but it does have a mastery, and it's something that we utilize a lot. So I'm going to put that right up there with S because it does end up becoming one of our main or even sub-slot weapons. So I'm going to put it there. It does have 40 points on r.ability, so it might be a really useful weapon there to have. And as well as if you're building Glenn and stuff, this one will be an amazing weapon to have in his sub-equipment. Right, next up we have the bandage sword. Bandage sword is going to be one of those pieces of equipment that I'm going to put into A here because it kind of fits in with the other three here. So buster sword is good for its R abilities. Then we have butterfly edge, which is really good for the P def increase, and bandage sword is really good for the magic defense increase. So like if we're going to be hit with magic defense down, the speed in which the bandage sword is able to bring that back to a null is very good. So I'm going to put it there. It's a good place for it. It has a decent amount of HP as well, so really good R ability. So yeah, definitely an A slot weapon. Next we have the Sky Splitter. Sky Splitter again has a garb. It is an amazing weapon, really good P attack, and definitely going to be an S+. This is going to be one of your fire Esper builds, and it's one that deserves an S+ ranking. So this is definitely one that you want to try to get up to 120 really quickly. We have the Zidane Sword. Zidane Sword here is actually going to go right up at the top here. It is a non-elemental damage weapon, but its sub abilities are very good with P attack and physical ability boost. So I suggest putting in your S+. If you have a lot of copies of this, even better. But even as a base, it might be worthwhile to get that one up to 120 because it is one that either we equip on our offhand or in our sub equipment. And finally, we've got a brand new weapon that we just got, and that is going to be the Ignis Saber. So this is our new ice sword. It is fantastic. Definitely want to put that in S+. I'm going to be putting that one up to 120 pretty quickly right off the bat, just because of those R abilities. If the R abilities get increased, guys, that is going to be a beast. It's going to allow you to just increase your P attack for your entire team with just a little more points over the levels. So definitely one that I would suggest to level. And that's it for this one, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below on my tier list. Maybe you have a difference of opinion in some of these weapons. Let me know what they are. It'd be good to understand what you guys are thinking. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Be well, adventurers. Take care.